Caring is a natural inclination that all of us need to understand how to use. It can be a way to express your compassion towards other people and things that you enjoy. But there's a very clear distinction between caring for something and being preoccupied with it to the extent that you end up putting it on a pedestal. When you do this, you end up risking your relationship. Learning to care for things while preserving your limits is a skill every man should have in his back pocket. So where do you draw the boundary? How then can you stop caring about things that don't connect with your objective? Start by knowing that caring itself is not a negative thing. In fact, we all care about something. For instance, your goal is something that you must care about and be preoccupied with at all times, but the fact that you care about it is what counts during certain times. Caring too much can be more of a vulnerability than a strength. It's in our nature as men to go above and beyond to solve problems. You create such deep feelings that it may be more harmful at times when you allow your feelings to take the better of you without keeping them in check. You just need to bring yourself to a normal equilibrium. So, coming back to the important question, how do you stop caring so much and maintain the right balance? Here are 6 ways to do exactly that. 1. Learn to say no. Saying no is the absolute most important weapon for safeguarding your space, your peace of mind, and evaluating how much you care. Tell people a simple no if you don't want to participate in something or if it is occurring against your wishes. Otherwise, other people will constantly intrude on your space if you don't say no the very first time. That behavior and attitude will continue on. In fact, women are the expert at this sort of behavior, and as men, we should take a lesson from them. Consider your past relationships when it comes to expressing yourself. You will realize that if the woman feels comfortable with you, she will definitely tell you how she feels about a specific thing. Do the same rather than becoming upset about people and learn to express your feelings. Communication is important, and that is something women have been using to their benefit all the time to even control the man at times. This is why perfectionists, or the so-called nice guys, often finish last, because they do not communicate their true feelings and motives, and therefore people easily take advantage of them. They will be forced to comply with things that they are not comfortable with. But when you start saying no, you will notice that individuals around you change their behavior. Some people could be upset because you disagree with them or do not care enough about their convenience. Let them go and carry on with your purpose. 2. Ignore other people's opinions. Everyone has their opinion. But how many of them have managed to prove useful for you? To be honest, people don't even know themselves, yet we give their understanding too much significance. You must not think about the other person's opinions concerning you or your life. This is not to suggest that you start to view everybody's opinion as bad, because if you do this, you will never develop in life. Instead, evaluate and be mindful of the types of people you have to keep away from. These are the kinds of people you need to keep at a strong social distance because their opinions spread like a deadly virus. A better solution is to consider their opinion, look for any validity, and make a decision whether to accept it or not. It's appropriate if you consider it out of bounds, then overlook it and move on. 3. Work on your self-confidence. In order to establish a balance between caring for yourself and everyone else, there must be a balance between respect for oneself and respect for someone else. If you lack sufficient self-confidence and self-respect, then many other people will always take a premium. Think of it as a seesaw at a kid's playground. On one side is your own self-respect and confidence, and on the other side is the regard and time you show to others. You must keep this seesaw directly balanced. Do not show others so little respect that your self-confidence ends up turning into arrogance and self-loathing. And do not want to give others so much attention that you just end up placing them on a pedestal where you care way too much about their viewpoints. The reason you care too much about other people's opinions boils down to one single concept. Lack of self-confidence means knowing your own value, even if you could be flawed but are still deserving of self-confidence, and don't spend your time worrying over all the what-ifs. 4. Stop over-investing in other people. People who care excessively for others have one thing in common. They expect something positive in return. However, the bitter truth is that 99% of the time you won't get something back in return that meets your expectations. You will find yourself putting extreme energy into worrying and fussing over the individuals that you care about, but they will never dedicate that very same amount of energy back. This is also the root issue in many relationships. The man will continuously text the woman and also double message her. He will attempt to acquire some type of favor from her. You may perceive this as being caring, but from her point of view, you come off as nothing but desperate. So what's the solution to this? Simple. Just invest as much as the other person is investing in you. Remember that everything is a 50-50 chance. The same is true for your social ties and relationship. They should be tailored to the effort and focus of the other person. If the woman is interested in you, then by all means return your gratitude and give her the greatest moment of her life. But if she slacks off and results in you reading, then you understand what you must do. So keep in mind it's nothing personal. You don't have to hold a grudge against the other person for not having to invest. You simply learn to invest as much as the other person is also ready and able to do, and you will never go wrong. 5. Define what success means to you. Everyone has their own goal and purpose in life. As such, we all evaluate success differently. For some, success means earning prizes. For other people, it's about achieving targets or getting a certain job done. You need to establish your standard for success and know the different approaches to achieving it. Once you become preoccupied with reaching this success, there's no doubt that you're well on your way to not caring what others think. There's a very wise saying that I want you to hear that goes like this: a lion is unconcerned with a sheep's point of view. Why? Simple. Because a lion is too committed to living his own greater purpose to consider it of any use to interact with the sheep. The same applies to your life and dedication. So remember, men, whenever it comes to not caring excessively, it doesn't imply that you must start hating the other person or thing. The world has become full of hate, and we don't want more of it. It just means to associate yourself with your own mission, so the interruptions of others have no impact on the self-love and confidence you have in yourself. 6. Don't be judgmental. One of the most common mistakes a man can make is jumping to conclusions like a nagging woman. For example, each day we are bombarded with lies and plans that only explain half of the story. It's very easy to make a decision based on your gut instinct when you hear something that seeks to elicit a reaction from you. If you allow this to happen, you basically allow yourself to enter a condition where you care too much. At that point, you have judged and dedicated your effort to a scenario that serves no purpose at all. It is also possible that your perspective on that matter is wrong. In today's society, everybody tries to pass judgment. Only a wise man can prevent himself from succumbing to the urge to rush to judgment. Give yourself enough time to understand the complete storyline. Hear the other person's story, even if the narrative being told paints them as a bad character. Before trying to make any life-changing or major choices, such as marriage, dedication, or passing judgment, often takes a break from the situation and act as if the scenario has nothing to do with you. It's almost as if you're observing another person's situation and making a logical decision from a distance. This is what you consider the bird's eye view. Well, that is all for the video. If you find it helpful, consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends.